Hello, I am Solaj Alfred. Welcome to the Hts Epoll. It's your opportunity to weigh in on the most pressing issues of the day. The Epoll is brought to you by the Labrie Cooperative Credit Union.
We're here for beginnings, endings, and everything in between. For the startups, the slow starts, for the early risers, and the end of day finishers. For the career jugglers, high flyers, and for everyone who's ever had a goal or chased a goal. It's why we're here. Here to help you plan, track, and execute your goals so you can own a better tomorrow. Labrie Cooperative Credit Union. One member and one goal at a time. Call us today. Telephone 459-6900. Labrie Cooperative Credit Union. We are not a bank. We are better.
The Medical and Dental Council of St. Lucia has summoned Dr. Gilbertha St. Rose to a disciplinary hearing to answer to some serious allegations. Dr. St. Rose, one of the main proponents of the use of the anti-parasitic drug ivermectin for the prevention and cure of COVID-19, is accused of prescribing and promoting the drug despite the express disapproval of the chief medical officer. She is also accused of conducting a clinical trial without proper authorization or monitoring. In her defense, Dr. St. Rose says she has been prescribing ivermectin in her professional capacity as a doctor to save lives. If found guilty, Dr. St. Rose could have her license suspended or revoked. So we ask, do you support the decision of the Medical and Dental Council to hold a disciplinary hearing to have Dr. St. Rose respond to the allegations against her? We tallied the numbers on our voting platforms, and here is how you voted. 5% said yes, 93% said no, 1% had no comment, and 1% did not know. We also took to the streets to get your opinion, and here's what you had to say.
Yes, I support the charges because if it is not approved by the CDC and the FDA, it means that that's medical malpractice. But at the same time, there are so many other doctors who does the same thing, medical malpractice, and we lose our loved ones by doing that. I never hear you all investigating any one of them. You know, so if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. You have to investigate every doctor that does medical malpractice. And that's how I see it.
Definitely. We are talking about ethics there. And it is very unethical for any medical practitioner, doctor, medical expert to use a drug which has not been approved for specific illness, in that case, the COVID-19 virus. The World Health Organization, the Pan-American Health Organization, the Center for Disease Control, the Food and Drug Administration has made it clear that this drug is not approved to treat COVID-19 patients. It was being used in Brazil, the authorities had to stop it. But there are some countries which are experimenting with it. But ironically, a couple of days ago, the manufacturers of the drug came out with a clear statement that this drug is not supposed to be used and it has not been approved for COVID-19. So some form of action should be taken. You cannot, it is very dangerous and you cannot risk people's lives by prescribing something which is not approved, tested and approved.
Yes, I think if there is something going on that we need clarification on, we definitely need to get answers to it. So yes, I would agree with them.
Let's be realistic and honest about this. If the doctor is obviously medically inclined and educated, and I believe that she should know exactly what she is up to. Now, if she is doing what she thinks is right and best, who is the medical board to bring her to answer questions? A lot of things that has happened in the past, including fatality, where the medical board never took it up into their consideration and questioned either the individual or individuals who are responsible. I hope they are not zoning specifically that particular doctor?
Well, they can have her to answer, but I believe Dr. St. Rose, with her medical background and professionalism, should know which laws she shouldn't break. So she will be able to stand up for herself knowing that she's followed the guidelines. Because right now America is in war with ivermectin because Americans are taking the ivermectin for animals. There's supposed to be two versions of it, one for human and one for animals. Let's see what the judges say and how she defends herself.
Thanks for those responses. Now to our new discussion. The findings of a survey undertaken by the Chamber of Commerce indicate that the vast majority of members of the Chamber support the imposition of mandatory vaccination for employees. This comes against the backdrop of more organizations requiring that employees be vaccinated. The controversial policy has attracted strong criticism from people and organizations who question its effectiveness and legality. Those who support the policy argue that it is the only way in which society would return to some sort of normalcy. Those who oppose it say it is an infringement of the individual's right to choose on a fundamental matter. So, we ask, do you support the imposition by employers for mandatory vaccination for their employees? Voting is easy. Just log on to htsstlucia.org or Facebook at HTS St. Lucia Official and vote. Remember, our Epoll team is always on the go to get your responses as well. Watch the HTS News Force from 7 p.m. for the results and a new discussion.